What's the stupidest reason you've ever been broken up with? I dated a girl for one day. She broke up with me because in her words I was immortal. I'm pretty certain she was going for immoral, but hey, you take what you can get. Maybe she was sick of you and your friends constantly sword fighting and trying to behead each other. In high school she broke up with me because she saw me kiss another girl on the cheek. It was my mom's cheek I kissed. I guess your mother was really hot from your girl's perspective. She met someone that she immediately saw herself marrying. A month after we broke up she moved across the country, got married, called me to tell me she made a mistake, got divorced, moved back home, got pregnant and then got married again. Her current age, 22. Bullet dodged. A guy broke up with me that I wasn't aware of dating. We had dinner once. We spoke a handful of times via text but very short messages. Out of the blue, after a few months, I get a long message telling me he has to break up with me. We were both in our late 30s. I've got the opposite. An ex decided we were back together after a decently amicable breakup. I only found out we were back together when she called me in tears to confess to cheating on me. Easiest second breakup ever. Not me but my best friend's mother. She broke up with a boy in high school because he ate an egg salad sandwich and she doesn't like them. Understandable. She was upset that I didn't hit her during an argument after she said some out of line crap. She thought abusive relationships were hot and would show that I cared. Most bizarre thing I've ever heard, but probably best that relationship ended. Mine seems pretty mundane after looking through these comments, but had a girl break up with me for it's been 53 hours since you said I love you, so clearly you are trying to be distant, so I break up with you first so you win. I was relieved after the initial shock. She was apparently batty and I never knew. We had dated in high school, then 13 years go by and we reconnected, moved to a different state, had a dog, decided that we wanted to travel so purchased an RV. I got rid of all of my stuff, bedroom furniture, washer and dryer, more furniture. About 4 months of living there and I have a seizure, was told I couldn't drive for 3 months. I was able to work from home a couple days a week so he didn't have to drive so much, but that didn't help. About 2 weeks after my seizure he told me he didn't want to take care of or be responsible for anyone. This is why he didn't want to have kids. I was floored and 17 hours from any type of family. Took me a little bit but I got back on my feet. And everything I own will fit in my car, so traveling and moving is easier, lol. Silver lining I guess. At least you got to end a relationship without wasting more time. You guys probably weren't compatible since he won't date a girl who he helps if she gets sick, and presumably you won't date a goddamn monster. Middle school, 7th grade to be exact. I want dudes to be able to grab my butt and I can't do that when I'm with you. I mean, yay, it was the right thing to do, but come on. I like to be the big spoon and he told me I was questioning his manhood. Marry me. A girl once broke up with me because we were going to different schools next year and, in her words, we would never find the opportunity to see each other. We lived on the same street, like literally 30 seconds away from another. That girl watched too many rom-coms. I once dated a woman from Shenzhen, China. She was in the States for college. I took her out on Christmas Eve for dinner and as I'm driving her back to her dorm, we pass a strip club. She says she has never been and wants me to take her. I told her some other time, as I can't imagine spending Christmas Eve in a strip club. She dumps me on the spot. It was worth it for the anecdote. She was a nut. She wanted to be single for her first H experience. Never took her back. I don't frick with H. It scares the absolute frick out of me. It should. I don't ever want to change who you are, and I need you to change for me, in a constant cycle. Very accurate depiction of my last relationship. Was a tough break, but better in the long run I feel. When I was a teen my ex broke up with me because I didn't walk her home. I walked her home pretty much every day for like half a year, and one day when we were next to my house with her next door neighbor, I decided I was just going to let them walk together and I'll chill for a change, but apparently that makes me a bad BF, so I got dumped. I broke up with my HS girlfriend because she kept using "well then maybe we should just break up" every time we argued. Finally she did it when I said I didn't like panic at the disco, so I just said okay and hung up the phone. Good for you. It's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poise and rationality. She broke up with me for something that I did in her dream. Met on OkCupid, chatted a bit, we seemed to have a bunch in common. We went on one dinner date that was okay but kinda awkward. He said some stuff that could either be red flags or he's a bad sarcastic flirt, etc. I was on the fence about another date, but when he pouted that I wouldn't kiss him in the parking lot, I decided more on the no side. We didn't talk after that. It happens. I forgot about it and went on with my single life. 10 months go by. I get a message on OkCupid from him. I see you're no longer lying about your age. Anything else you want to come clean about? WTF. Your profile says you're 30 now. Yeah, because time passed and now I'm 30. Before that it said 29. That's how ages work. Well, I can't entertain dating someone who would lie about something this basic. We're done. When did we even start? He blocked me. I'm sure he felt righteous. Edited to add. 1. This was over 8 years ago, so I have some further bad news for this guy. 2. This is now my top comment ever. Yeah, IDK, how to say this. We're breaking up too. Not quite a breakup, but a girl I was pursuing romantically in high school was rather short, like she was maybe 4 minutes and 10 seconds short. I asked her to the homecoming dance thinking, hey, she's cool, it doesn't matter that she's so much shorter than me. After a couple of days of discussing plans and figuring out logistics, she tossed a note at me that said I was a jerk and we would not be going to the dance. I was dumbfounded, but she refused to answer any questions or explain why. I later learned that she thought that I was making fun of her. Apparently, it would be hilarious for me to spend what little money I had on the dance so that a 6 feet 1 inches guy and a 4 minutes and 10 seconds girl could awkwardly attempt dancing and everyone could point and laugh. No, Carly, I just liked you. Carly shouldn't listen to her stupid friends, who are probably jealous. Not a breakup, but my ex-boyfriend threatened to because I got an offer from a better university than him. He insisted it wasn't fair to him and he could have gone to the same one if he hadn't followed his passion for music. He didn't like that I used big words in conversation because it made him feel stupid. My dad was dying of cancer, and I was depressing to be around. T-hat happened to me too. My mom fell into a coma thanks to terminal brain cancer. He said I had too much emotional baggage. He was going through so much growth and so many changes. For example, quit his job and moved back in with his parents, while I wasn't changing at all. His examples of my stagnancy were that I had the same job and same cat after 1.5 years. My first girlfriend, who I was with for 2 years, broke up with me because I went to see a movie with a group of people and never told her about it. I saw the movie in our first month together. She probably had underlying issues. If something like that results in a breakup, then she's a bit strange. I changed my picture on a dating site before we started dating. We met on an online dating site, started talking casually and ended up exchanging phone numbers. At some point during this first week of communicating, I uploaded a picture to the site that a friend had taken of me. About a week or so later we started dating. I never logged into the site again, which you can see, as last online times are displayed on profiles. We dated for about 3 months. Then one day she starts texting me and becomes accusatory because I had changed my picture and not deleted my account. When I pointed out the last login thing and that the picture was from before we started dating, it seemed to go in one ear and out the other. She was uncomfortable with my responses and decided we should stop seeing each other. Didn't really argue with that. I was too white for her mother. That's believable. My parents are both racist and I'd probably hate dating a black woman if I still lived with them. I'd have to listen to all the racist things they say about her and her family all the time while she's gone. And possibly while she's in the room, because my dad doesn't think things like "you're nice for a black" is a stupid thing to say. That dating me was on a bet for $10. I was upset and cried to my friend. She told her twin brother. Kid didn't come to school the next day. When he came back, he'd fallen and broken his pitching arm. There was an apology note in my locker a few days later. I hope you're still friends with those twins. They seem like good friends to have. I have so many stories, but I'll only bore you with the main one. Went out with a girl in school, puppy love type stuff in year 7. Anyway, about 4 months into going out I kissed her. She broke up with me via text and it was terrible. I was given the excuse that she thought the relationship was moving too fast. Alright, fair enough, okay then, move on. Anyway, about 2 years later we start going out again. Yay me. But whenever we hang out one of her friends is with us and is way too into the idea of us, so I couldn't flirt or compliment or kiss without this little drama queen being all kiss, kiss, kiss. She eventually breaks up with me via text again, and what's the reason? The relationship is moving too slow. Sanofa. I used to buy my underwear wholesale, like a dozen of the same size and color for a discount. I met this girl and we would get frisky quite regularly. However, after a week or two she started to notice something, and she assumed I was wearing the same pair of underpants for weeks on end, which she, understandably, found rather off-putting. Fortunately for me, she accidentally looked in my hamper one day. Later she confessed that she was about to break up with me with some lame excuse or other. I'm happy she didn't, because we've been together for almost 12 years now and we have a beautiful daughter, and I've added some variety to my underwear. She said that God came to her in a dream and told her that to follow his path she could not walk it with me. She then started going to church and became an assistant minister or something. Then she started dating a local junkhead wife beater because he had reformed himself and come to God. And then he cheated on her, and now she works at Walgreens. Just your friendly neighborhood dumpster fire. He got bored. His words. 2 years. It destroyed me. I've had that. Really freaks you up. Spend seemingly forever doubting your self-worth and constantly anxious about whether you're just a boring person or chose to date someone with a short attention span. He told me he was not ready to commit, but truth is, his mom doesn't like me due to some unknown reason. Mother's instinct, they said. My ex was allergic to cats. My roommates had cats. She dealt with it for a while until one day she blew up about them and gave me an ultimatum. I get rid of my roommate's cats or she walks. We now have another cat. Because he loved me too much and knew I would be leaving the area in 5 months, he wanted to break it off right then so he wouldn't get hurt later. I was so peeved. I showed up at his apartment and made him take me back. That was 21 years ago. We are still together. I had someone break up with me because I showed her too many memes. Is this a problem? I think it's a problem. I broke up with a guy in 9th grade because he cut my name into his arm and misspelled it, to boot. I cared too much about his well-being and then had the audacity to tell him that I was uncomfortable watching him do coke, which I had no clue he was even into. I had a buddy who once told us he had a girlfriend who broke up with because he would give her too many orgasms. In another story, we used to play a game he was oblivious to, where we'd bet on how many outrageous comments stories this guy would make on a night out. We were terrible friends. I took my ex-girlfriend to the Science Museum for her birthday, which is coincidentally on Valentine's Day. Turns out she's not that big a fan of science as I thought. Broke up the next day. He became intimidated because I got better at League than he was. From what I gather, everyone who plays a MOBA sucks. It doesn't matter how good you are, you always suck. Getting better just means you suck less, and some men just don't want to suck his GF's dong more than she sucks his. I wanted to sit with at lunch. She said that I was too clingy. A few weeks later I found out she was hooking up with someone else. To be fair, it must be really hard to have an affair if your boyfriend is always around. My ex broke up with his then girlfriend, one of my friends, because she didn't wear enough makeup. I had a heart attack reading this. Dude was sad we didn't spend any time together. Wasn't working out. Should have let me know we were together in the first place. I could have tried to salvage the relationship I was just hearing about. Thanks, weird teen years. 3rd grade bestie, we had a huge fight over whether a tomato was a fruit or a vegetable. He told me I was too fat for him, or anyone, to date. I weighed 130 pounds at the time. I broke up with a girl who pronounced ketchup as catsup. My friends refer to it as my Seinfeld breakup. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.